Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I welcome you to English grade 8 video lessons. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. I hope that you are all ready and set to explore this next unit with me, which is our unit number 4, and the title is The Wise and the Wicked. Now, in this introductory lecture, we are going to explore all these SLO that we will be covering in the upcoming video lessons. So let's get started by reading our first students learning outcome. But before that, I would like you to take a quick overview of the theme of the chapter that you have already read. Now, let's talk about the theme. So this unit will explore the theme of ethics and values with a specific focus on trustworthiness. Students will engage in reading, discussions, and projects to understand what it means to be trustworthy, why it is important, and how trustworthiness impacts relationships and communities. So, we are going to explore this theme and sub-theme in this our lesson. Now, for lecture number 1, let's see what is our students learning outcome. So our SLO is examine and interpret the use of conjunctions and transitional devices in speech and writing to create the effect. So we will be talking about grammar competency here, and this SLO is targeting conjunctions. And we know that conjunction is a part of speech and also transitional devices in both our speech and our writing. So we will be examining and interpreting the use of conjunctions and transitional devices in our speech and writing to create the effect in the reader's mind. Now, for the next video lesson, we will be exploring the SLO for lecture number 2. Distinguish and use action verbs, linking verbs, sensing and feeling verbs, mental and thinking verbs, and verbs of possession. So, we know that verbs are of different kinds. There are main verb, helping, auxiliary verbs, linking verbs that link the information with the subject, and so many other. So we will be exploring this grammar topic in our SLO. Now for lecture number 3, we are using the SLO, use all types of tenses correctly in speech and writing. We will continue our learning of tenses in this SLO. We will be talking about using the tenses correctly in speech and writing. And next one, we have an SLO of vocabulary. So with lecture number 4, we will be exploring the SLO, use dictionary or thesaurus to locate guide words, locate entry word, look for the etymology of the word. So in reference materials like dictionary and thesaurus, we will equip a skill of identifying all these things mentioned, locating the guide words, locating the entry word or the word that we are looking for, and looking for the etymology, the origin of the word. So you will be needing a dictionary for this SLO. Now let's talk about the next one. For lecture 5, it's divided in different parts. Our SLO for lecture 5A will be read and use inference and deduction to recognize implicit meaning. For example, look for supporting details within a text or paragraph using prior knowledge and contextual cues effectively. Now, this is for reading and critical thinking, and when we are reading, we need to use strategies like inference and deduction to get most out of the lesson. So in this one, we will be talking about inference, deduction, to recognize the implied meaning, or what we call implicit meaning. And we will be talking about supporting details that we find in any text or paragraph, and followed by our prior knowledge and contextual cues. And we will explore the contextual cues thoroughly and exclusively. Now, let's talk about our next lecture, which is 5B, and our students' learning outcome is analyze how particular elements of a story or drama interact. For example, how setting shapes the characters or plot. In stories and dramas, we have different elements. We will be talking about the setting that shapes the characters or the plot. Setting really matters in dramas and in stories. So we will be exploring this thoroughly in this SLO. For lecture number 5C, we will be exploring the SLO, understand implicit meanings and nuances of language through inferential questions and questions on writer's craft. So this will be a little technical, and we will be thoroughly seeing that how we can find implicit meanings. And implicit meanings, as you know, they are implied in the text. We need to find it. Also, we will be looking at questions and ask questions for different purposes and for on writer's craft, the way the writer wrote any kind of text. Now, for lecture 5D, our SLO will be use common punctuation cues to aid comprehension when reading. For example, punctuation marks like comma, full stop, exclamation mark, colon, dash, parenthesis, slash, and ellipsis. And we merge another SLO with it, recognize and rectify faulty punctuation in given passages, and own work and correct others' work. So this is all about the punctuation marks. They are very important, and if not used correctly, they will change the meaning, and the meaning will not be conveyed properly. So we will be talking about punctuation cues when we are reading in our comprehension, and all these SLOs, these punctuation marks mentioned in the bracket, followed by that how we can use them correctly. Now, let's talk about lecture number 6A, and our SLO will be perform a drama or play script showing different roles and scenarios through deliberate choice of dialogues or speech, gestures, and movements. So this is of the competency of oral communication, and in this one we will learn that how we can perform and how we can be a good performer, good speaker when we are given a task. So in this one you will be seeing drama or any play script showing different roles that the actors play or the characters have, and also scenarios that we find in plays through the choice of dialogues or speech as they are included in the plays or dramas normally. And we will also be talking about our gestures and movements when performing a play or drama. Now, for lecture number 6B, our SLO is of the writing competency. Write narratives to develop real or imagined experiences or events using effective techniques, relevant descriptive details, and well-structured event sequences. So, in narrative writing, we will be looking at whether it's fictional or non-fictional, real or imagined, and also the techniques like writing descriptively to add more and make the narrative engaging. We will be using well-structured event in an organized way to say what we want to say in our narratives effectively with the correct order and organizing. So all these will be covered in this SLO. For lecture number 6C, our SLO will be use hyphens in words and homophones. So the use of hyphens when we have them in our words and homophones, we will be looking at these. Now, that's all the lectures that we will be covering. Different SLOs we have gone through together, and we will be covering each one in different video lessons. See you with the next video with lecture number 1. Allah Hafiz.